Flamboyance, that used to be the word associated with the celebration of Nigeria's Independence Day. Like other countries, Nigeria usually marks the day with great zeal and festive fervor, but the last few years has been different. Since the 2010 bombing in the nation's capital on the nation's 50th Independence Day, things took a different turn. One thing, however, remained constant. From Sir Tafawa Balewa to the military heads of state, and now the democratically elected presidents, they all had one thing in common: fixing the problems of Nigeria. 57 years after, the struggle clearly continues.
We should pray for our nation so that we'll see change. Because this change everywhere is dry. It's really affecting even with the seller, because we are not workers, we are not receiving salary. It's from the workers we eat. They say no salary.
Not like hardship in Nigeria is not created by any other sort. No angel is going to create hardship for us. It's we creating it.
Many describe the nation's socio-economic situation as a huge gap between the aspirations Nigerians had at independence and today's reality.
What has spoiled Nigeria and set us back completely and was not addressed by previous presidents, heads of states, is the issue of corruption. People were stealing money anyhow. People were enriching themselves anyhow. And nobody did anything about it. And we couldn't continue like that.
The anti-corruption drive of the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari may be one of the selling points. But be that as it may, there are still criticisms.
Government is not bothered by that. As long as we know that the war is being prosecuted, then that's all that matters. If some people don't see it, it's because they choose not to see it.
Unfazed with the negatives, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, stood in for the President while he was away on medical vacation for the better part of 2017. The federal government maintained a no-no position on agitations for the secession of the Southeast.
In the last government.
And this is amidst dialogues on calls for restructuring.
From where we are now, there are certain aspects of the government, certain institutions of government that we must devolve down to the local government level and to the states, as it is done in other countries. Maybe that will trigger off some competition in development.
In the times of economic hardship and uncertainty, such that drove the nation into a recession in 2016, the push to diversify through agriculture became more forceful.
We imported everything we could easily produce, and in the process transferred jobs and wealth to sustain other economies. That's a tragedy. And that's why the independence is not sweet. It's like, okay, we're independent, why are we in trouble? And nobody wants to look at where the disease began. Today, many banks won't even lend to agric. Bankers won't touch the agriculturists, which is our next surest way of earning forex, paying the debts we owe and creating the jobs we need at home.
Nigeria is a blessed nation. There may be problems here and there, but it is much more important, it is much more gracious for all of us to agree to stay together as a nation.
Nigeria may have spent billions of dollars over the years trying to resolve major infrastructural challenges like power, for instance, in vain, but clearly the present administration is looking to plug all those loopholes so that the nation would emerge stronger and Nigerians may finally begin to enjoy the gains of an independent Nigeria. Gloria Umezuki, Channels Television News.